Welcome back to another Alliance War. For Loki, we are currently ranked 12 going into the 8th war of Season 6. And today we'll be going up against Jokers. Now, at the end of this video, I'm also going to give you guys the results of the 9th war of the season as well. I'll tell you who we played, the outcome of that war, and if I died or not. The 9th war was a war that I was not able to record since it was during Christmas while I was traveling, and the only time I record videos is while I'm at my computer at home. So I will tell you guys the outcome of exactly what happened there. But in the meantime, let's get into this war against Jokers here. Got this entire path recorded right before hopping a flight back to New Jersey. We've got Enhanced Special 1, Limber, and Aggression Fury on this this first node here, node 12, and it turns out that it's a Mystic Champion. Mystic Champions not too commonly seen on this node. I have seen them occasionally, but you know, really haven't seen them all that much. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop on some tech boosts right here, but I'm not using Stark Spidey for this fight. I was actually just going to pop on a regen boost right now, but I was thinking, you know what, I mean, I might as well pop the tech boost right now. I'm going to be using Stark Spidey later in my path, and they last long enough. I might as well just pop these things on right now, so I don't have to keep flipping back to the boost screen. So go ahead and pop those on, put the combat regen on, and here we go. We got a Dormammu. So Dormammu, I make a pretty big mistake. I kind of forget that this node is an unblockable L1, and you're going to see me just kind of face tank it right here. Boom. Yeah, normally when baiting out Dormammu's Special 1, I just block it, you know. There's I feel like the block damage that you take from it is not that big a deal versus having to take all that degen damage if you evade it and trigger dexterity on yourself. So normally I just block it. And you can see that degen, it's doing quite a bit of damage to me. That combat regen boost did help to mitigate a lot of that damage, but you know, still did take quite a bit. But since you know, Void here is all boosted up and has class advantage over Dormammu, and this node doesn't have that high of a stacked health, you know, he does drop relatively quickly. Alright, next fight, we're on the Bane Stun Immune node, and check this out. It's a 565 Cosmic Champion that is unawakened. Interesting, and it turns out that it is a Heimdall. Okay, so a couple things to look out for whenever you're fighting Heimdalls. Every time he uses his special ability, the first hit that you want to do after that special, you want to basically bait out a heavy attack from this guy, since this is a stun immune node, of course. You want to bait out a heavy attack, and then you want to throw a heavy attack yourself. This way you don't get auto-blocked. Now, I knew that going into this fight, but you're going to see me kind of make a fool of myself right here and get auto-parried just like that. We get the Bane transferred back over to him relatively quickly, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I'm going to go ahead and make that same mistake right here once again. So getting Bane back on myself. Eventually I do learn, and the next time this guy throws his special one, you guys are going to see the correct response to it, where I'm going to sit here, bait out a heavy attack, and it's a slow heavy attack from Heimdall. So you're able to, you know, after that first, you know, first part of his heavy attack, you're able to, you know, to dash back and then load up your heavy, and you know, it's usually not too big of a deal. So pretty big noob mistakes in that fight. I don't know what I was thinking, man. It's just, I don't know. I didn't think it was, I still don't know if it's a 100% chance with Heimdall or not, but I shouldn't have risked it regardless, even if it wasn't 100% chance. Anyway, we have Kingpin on node 24, the buffet limber recovery node here, and against Kingpin, you just gotta whip out that Stark Spidey, build up them poise charges, and you're not really gonna do any damage till you get all the way up to 10, pretty much. You know, 8, anywhere between 8 and 10 is good, but ideally you get to 10 and then you go to town on this big dude. So just gonna look to bait out another special attack here, and gonna hit him with my special 2. I do have those, you know, those boosts on, so I am going to gain a ton of power back from that. And here, you know, I hit him with another special 2 right away. I kind of scared myself a little bit, as I did trigger Buffet, and he healed up quite a bit, and I was worried that my special 2 wasn't going to kill him, but no, it was more than enough damage. Alright, moving on to the node 31 mini-boss, which is a Domino. This is the reason why I popped those tech boosts at the beginning of the war. It was not for that Kingpin certainly don't need the boost for that fight, but against Domino, I really like having the tech boost active. So still got those things on right now. I'm actually going to pop another combat regen boost here. Had these things in the overflow, so it kind of worked out. That I was able to use them here, because certainly going to be taking some damage against this Domino, and the combat regen is going to help me to stay above 50% to deal enough damage to kind of cut through that buffet healing that Domino is going to get. So just going to build up some poise charges. I used to have a real tough time fighting Domino with Spidey, and I realized one of the problems I was having is that I wasn't waiting long enough when she lunged in at me with her medium attack. I was evading too early. I was dashing back too early, and I wasn't getting the poise charge. So I just kind of delay my movements a little bit, and now I'm getting poise charges much easier against Domino. So starting to feel a lot more comfortable with this fight. But basically just building up the poise charges, because again, it's a healing node, it's a buffet node. Hit her with that special 2, hoping to get some big crits. I do get 1 crit and 2 shocks on her. It's good enough for me to basically fire back another special 2 right away. And boom, she goes down. We get a couple of nice crits at the end there to take her out. So yeah, like I said, starting to feel a lot more comfortable in that fight. I've been fighting a lot of Dominos this season, so that's kind of helped to better my skills when it comes to Stark Spidey versus Domino, because I used to struggle with that fight so bad, and that's why I was using Void for the longest time in that fight. But anyway, moving on to the next node, going to heal up my Void. We have a 6-star Unawakened Mutant Champion. Didn't really care who was going to be on this node. I was going to be taking in Void regardless. I figured it was going to be Nightcrawler, though. You got, a 6-star Unawakened Mutant Champion. That's a dead ringer for a Nightcrawler, right? So this is fine. The reason why I like to take in Void in this situation is because even if I can't get the switch trick to work, Void does have anti-evade debuffs, and over time, even if you're not landing a ton of hits against this guy, you're very tanky, so you could survive if he does evade against you, and you could eat a combo and still be all right in most cases, and just that damage over time will put in some good work as well. So that's why I choose Void over Stark Spidey's matchup. But I was able to get the switch trick relatively early on, and he's got a few debuffs rolling, and it's about to get that 6 debuff to convert to Fear of the Void. I threw this special 1 not to land a debuff, but just because he was so close to dying that, there was no reason to hold on to it until after Fear of the Void, and Nightcrawler goes down. Alright, moving on to the next node, the Arc Overload node. We have a 5-star Unawakened Science Champion. Wasn't exactly too sure who I was going to see on this node. The health pool was really low. Looking at it, though, you can see only 73,000 HP. So I know it's not going to be I know it wasn't going to be someone like a Gladiator Hulk that I've seen in this fight. I was thinking it was going to be like a Wasp or an OG Spidey or something like that. Didn't really matter. I was going to be using Void regardless of which Science Champion was on this node, since it is Arc Overload. And again, I feel more comfortable using Void. Even just with that 15% health boost that I just popped, he's so tanky, so allows me to make a few mistakes and still get through the fight. Versus Stark Spidey, where using Stark Spidey against Wasp, she connects 1 heavy attack, that could be lights out for you. But in any case, the way to fight Wasp is to bait out those heavy attacks, and then you have to watch that timer. That gray timer right next to all the debuffs that I've put on her. That timer, when it's on cooldown, when the timer is there, she can't auto block you and put that shock on you. And the timer it goes down much more quickly when Wasp is awakened and high sig level. When she's not awakened like this, you have a lot of time to land your attacks without having any fear of getting hit back. But to kind of put her auto block on cooldown, you either bait out a heavy attack or bait out her special 1. Both of those after either a special attack or a heavy attack, that's when you're free to go. Alright, moving on, the last fight here. This is a Green Goblin mini, 6-star Green Goblin. And the strategy here is kind of what you've seen me do plenty times in the past. Just sling those special 1s and kind of let the damage over time do its thing. Don't have to worry about the regen that Green Goblin gets once I land a couple of Petrifies. Same thing with the power gain on the Strike Back node. It's just, you know, a matter of time and not getting hit by Green Goblin's specials, really. Because if you watched one of my last videos, I did get hit by Green Goblin's special, and it did a pretty significant amount of damage. Not enough to kill me, but, you know, it's something that if you slip up, you know, twice in the same fight, then, yeah, you could be in some serious trouble. So that is pretty much going to do it for this war, guys. This fight is going to be wrapping up here. So I'm going to move on and talk a little bit about the next war after this one versus Jokers, which, by the way, we did take the victory here against Jokers. It was a close war, though, so, you know, good war to you guys over in Jokers. The next war after this, the one that I don't have any actual footage of, was up against Core, I think we played them earlier this season, pretty sure. We did take the victory against Core. Again, it was a close one, so, you know, good war to the guys over in Core. I did not die, so I'm still only at 1 death for the entire season. There was a couple of interesting fights there. You know, it would have been nice if I could have recorded it, had another Domino fight and everything. I think, at least. I can't remember. It's been a few days now, and it was during the holidays, but I'm pretty sure there was a Domino fight in there. But, you know, so we did take the victory there. So this war against Jokers and the next war versus Core, both victories. Beyond that, well, we're going to have to wait for the next Alliance War upload, as we're almost done with the season here. As, again, this was the 8th and 9th war of the season. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.